What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with TechDaily. So it's somehow already been a full month since the iPhone 17 lineup came out. And in this video, I want to share all of my thoughts on this new iPhone 17 Pro. The Pro has been my choice of iPhone really every year since the first Pro, the iPhone 11 Pro. And I feel like it's fair to say that we haven't really seen significant changes to this phone in really like the last 3 to 4 years. But this year feels different. The iPhone 17 Pro was redesigned for better or worse. It doesn't look like the last few Pro iPhones, and even this new bright orange color is enough for people to know it's new. iOS 26 is also new. Visually, for whatever reason, Apple thinks people want this transparent liquid glass look. And I know this software update isn't specific to this phone. You have it on whatever iPhone you currently have, I'm sure, but it's a different experience using this phone, at least visually. And with plenty of customization options, very un-Apple-like, no two iPhones now look the same anymore. But the iPhone 17 Pro is also old. Apple took multiple steps back with the fit and finish. Titanium is out, aluminum is cool again, and Apple Intelligence AI was mentioned just 11 times in the 75-minute presentation announcing these new phones. Instead, Apple talked more about battery life, more about performance, more about the physical hardware changes like the vapor chamber. They even added a new zoom lens and selfie camera, changes that feel more practical and useful, more easily explainable. There's still plenty of things about this new iPhone 17 Pro that aren't great, like camera control, for example. I actually think Apple may abandon this dumb, useless button within the next 1 or 2 releases. They didn't mention the feature at all this year. And even though Apple touted their new N1 chip for better Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Thread connectivity, most people's home Wi-Fi or internet connections aren't fast enough to take advantage of it. My AirPods still experience interference from time to time at the gym, and cell reception, location services, and Wi-Fi to LTE transitions, it's all still bad. If you're on a crappy network like AT&T, you're still going to have crappy service. There's a lot I want to say about this new iPhone 17 Pro, but before we get into it, no matter what iPhone you have now or what you're getting next, I would highly recommend you get yourself some great charging accessories to pair with it. And I'll always recommend Anker's Prime series, this video's sponsor and my personal favorite, as the must-have option. This is the all-new Anker Prime 3-in-1 wireless charging station, and it's the world's first 25-watt wireless charger with an active cooling system and a built-in display. It uses next-gen Qi 2 25-watt fast charging, giving you wired-level speeds without the cable. So it can charge this iPhone 17 Pro to 50% in just 22 minutes, which is only about 2 minutes slower than Apple's 45-watt wired charger, and about 6 times faster than those cheap old 5-watt wireless chargers. And if it wasn't obvious, there's room to charge your Apple Watch and AirPods too, simultaneously, for a clean, clutter-free setup. Each of these charges at 5 watts. To keep everything running safely and efficiently, this charger features aerospace-grade TEC active cooling and Active Shield 5.0, which monitors temperatures over 10 million times a day. This keeps your phone cool, protects your battery health, and maintains steady fast charging the entire time. And with the Anker Sense display, you can see your live charging data, temperature, and device status at a glance. It even connects to the Anker app, so you can adjust the screen brightness, set a clock theme, or switch between boost mode for fast everyday charging, ice mode for max cooling, and sleep mode for silent overnight use. For your on-the-go charging needs, the new Anker Prime 160-watt charger should absolutely be in your bag. It's the world's most compact 160-watt multi-port charger. It's powered by GaN Prime 2.0 and Power IQ 5.0 for intelligent power distribution. It can charge a 16-inch MacBook Pro, an iPhone 17 Pro Max, and an iPad Pro all at once, delivering up to 140 watts from a single port or 160 watts total. Active Shield 4.0 also ensures safety here with constant temperature monitoring. The Anker Sense smart display on this one also gives you real-time power data and lets you customize settings through the app for a truly personalized experience. These are what your shiny new iPhone or current iPhone deserve. Click the links in the video description to learn more. Okay, so let's get the obvious out of the way first. This new iPhone 17 Pro looks different, and in my opinion, whether you like the design or not is actually irrelevant. I've always felt that more than half the appeal of a new device is just the fact that it looks and feels new or different than what you already have in your pocket. You want to know you have the new phone. Part of you probably wants other people to know you have the new phone too. And with this cosmic orange iPhone 17 Pro with its bulbous camera plateau and off-color glass back, astronauts orbiting Earth can see that you have the new iPhone. The new design is formed with new but old material, an all-aluminum frame. That's the darker orange areas. It's actually a single piece of aluminum, and the lighter orange area is the ceramic shield glass. It does feel strange to go back to talking about an aluminum iPhone Pro. I mean, titanium was literally the only selling point on the iPhone 15 Pro. Stainless steel was the premium and polished material of choice for years and years prior to that. We all talked about how the Pro iPhones were built differently, built better, built to a standard of almost being, I don't know, jewelry, this elegant, shiny, cutting-edge, space-age, beauty-beholding, better than just a phone design that people paid a pretty penny for. But now it's aluminum and looks almost utilitarian, but perhaps that's kind of the point. I mean, Apple redesigned this iPhone 17 Pro to be more practical, to incorporate certain physical elements, to improve performance, to dissipate excess heat. So I guess mission accomplished in some capacity, but there's been an obvious compromise. The soft aluminum and thin paint on the new iPhone 17 Pros make it very susceptible to scratches. And I mean, yeah, duh, of course. The previous iPhones had plenty of Scratchgate articles written about them too, but from last year to this year, where Apple went from talking titanium toughness to now seeing these speckled scratches and chips on every corner, it feels like a step back for sure. You'll want a case, no doubt, unless you're comfortable rocking a rugged, patinaed-looking phone after a few months. Unfortunately, for me at least, the new Ceramic Shield 2 front glass doesn't seem to be any tougher against my number one enemy, the metal button on my jeans pocket. Every year, no matter the phone, I always get gnarly scratches on the front glass. Yes, from this stupid metal button. Yeah, I could push my phone into my pocket the other way. Yes, I could get a screen protector and probably will, even though it's too late at this point. But this is a deep, deep scratch, and I think it's only going to get worse as the months go by. So speaking of the display, the most significant change here is actually with the regular iPhone 17, hello ProMotion, finally. The Pro iPhones this year only see a brightness boost that you'll mainly experience with auto brightness enabled and in harsher lighting conditions, like outdoors. And in my experience, the 17 Pro does look better outside, especially in an extra sunny place like where I live in Las Vegas. The caveat here is that with the phone's screen getting brighter, it typically also runs hotter. And in previous years, in extra sunny and warm places like where I live in Las Vegas, you could enjoy that high brightness for about 7 seconds before the phone would freak out, dim down, drop the frame rate, and eventually crash out. Apple likes to launch their iPhones in the fall, conveniently enough, so it's not nearly as hot or as sunny as most of the rest of the year here. Kind of an unfair comparison at the moment to what I was used to on my old phone from like March through September, but I'm hopeful this phone can actually utilize its extra 1,000 nits and doesn't break a sweat so easily. It's not supposed to, anyway. Again, thanks to its redesigned all-aluminum form factor and the new internal components that are designed to cool it down. Inside, the new iPhone 17 Pro is powered by Apple's newest and fastest A19 Pro chip. No surprise there, but now paired with 12 gigabytes of RAM. We've finally approached 2019 Android spec status. I think more importantly, the new Pro iPhones now incorporate an active cooling component, a vapor chamber. Literally, it's a little bit of water sealed inside the phone that moves heat away from the processor and is supposed to help performance. You won't notice the physical aspect of it per se. The only thing you should experience is a cooler iPhone when gaming, for example, or filming video for multiple minutes on end, when charging sometimes too. And the phone should generally just run better, with less frame drops, less jitters, and a longer, sustained peak performance. Now, admittedly, I probably don't push my phone hard enough to adequately test the capabilities of the vapor chamber in daily usage. I'm not gaming for hours on end, I'm not filming feature-length 4K movies. Like I mentioned a moment ago, I just want the phone to run cooler when I'm doing normal stuff, like utilizing Google Maps in my car, or when I'm sitting outside and it's a little warm out, or when the phone is charging. I don't know why, but my iPhone 16 Pro felt like a hot plate whenever it was charging, wirelessly or via the USB-C cable, and for whatever reason, the 17 Pro also feels a little toasty when it's plugged in. I'm sure the vapor chamber is doing something sometimes, and maybe it's use case specific. A lot of people have been touting this vapor chamber as the upgrade for the 17 Pro this year, but in my experience, the phone still gets a little warm. It still gets tripped up under pressure. It's still just a phone, and there's only so much it can handle in its little body. The other thing I'll say with day-to-day usability is that Apple definitely took multiple steps back with AI and went full throttle on just visual changes, making things look different for the sake of looking different. iOS 26, from the first betas over the summer to now, and even looking ahead to iOS 26.1, it seems like it's just random visual changes. Opacity changes to the liquid glass elements, button and function rearranging, customization elements that, let's be honest, are pretty horrendous, and what was supposed to be the essence of, well, technically iOS 18, I guess, Apple Intelligence, it's just not nearly as big of a focus right now. Apple is behind the AI 8-ball at the moment, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of okay with that. Not everything has to be AI. I don't need awful AI summaries of news headlines or text messages with wildly inappropriate recaps. I don't need AI responses automatically generated from my texts or emails. I don't want my different apps being logged and analyzed and then regurgitated with AI suggestions. I don't need to generate a Genmoji or some other ridiculous AI cartoon. And it feels like Apple is maybe realizing this too. So an Apple Intelligence or AI pause is okay right now, and some actually useful AI changes, maybe when Apple gets its AI department reorganized, will probably be much more appreciated and embraced. Something else internally with this phone that I also want to touch on is that while Apple actually talked a lot about their new N1 networking chip, I don't think like 95% of everyday people will experience any difference, or even have the accessories to take advantage of it. Like if you don't have a Wi-Fi 7 system in your home or workplace, it's kind of irrelevant to you. If you don't use Bluetooth 6 devices or have smart accessories and a Thread network that combines them all, you aren't taking full advantage of the N1 chip. Here in the US especially, Wi-Fi is just slow because internet speeds are slow. Smart home stuff isn't all utilizing Thread. It's super segmented still. And the most important aspect of connectivity, the cell reception and mobile network, well, if you have poor service right now, you're still going to have poor service on the iPhone 17 Pro. I'm on AT&T in Las Vegas, and it is absolutely abysmal. In fact, I feel like cell reception and LTE or 5G or whatever it is in the moment is worse than it was even like 5 years ago. I experience more dead zones, more no service bubbles, more nearly unusable LTE, and more dropped calls than I ever did with a $50 flip phone when I was a kid. Maybe it's a combination of living in Las Vegas and having AT&T, maybe it's congestion, whatever it is. Nothing about this new iPhone 17 Pro fixes any of that for me. If you have crappy service on your current phone, whatever it is, you'll still have crappy service on this one. Something that is significantly better with the 17 Pro is battery life, but it comes with a pretty big caveat. Apple increased the physical size and capacity to 4,252 milliamp hours. That is, if you have the eSIM only iPhone. If you still have a physical SIM card tray, well, you're lucky in that regard, and I'm jealous of you, but you get a slightly smaller, but still bigger than last year, 3,998 milliamp hour battery. Right now, this fresh, new 100% battery health iPhone easily lasts me a full day. I can use it from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. and have at least 20% battery remaining without the need for a plug-in at any point during the day. That's like 6 to 8 hours of screen on time. No gaming really, just YouTube videos, social media, iMessage, stuff like that. What kills the battery the fastest for me is listening to music, whether it be Apple Music or Spotify, whether it's over AirPods or out loud. An hour of music listening drains like 10 to 15% in less than an hour. It's really bizarre. And the other thing is filming video or even just snapping pictures regularly over the course of an hour or two, let's say. Those two things are battery destroyers right now, but none of that is the caveat. This battery life feels so good simply because my iPhone 16 Pro battery was so bad. I'm talking low 90% battery health after just 1 year of use, never making it a full day, barely making it a half a day before I needed to plug in. I think my constant wireless charging was one thing that did this phone in. Running the iOS 26 beta all summer also did not help, but it was bad battery life. The question is, how will this new phone fare 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, a year, or 2 years from now? The battery tech inside isn't any different. It's the same kind of battery that's been used in the iPhone for years. Apple is constantly doing software things to slow charging speeds and optimize usage. I hope I can keep 95% of this fresh battery after a year. That would still be an improvement. I'm hoping for better than that, though. I appreciate the size increase. I also appreciate the better charging standards this year. Power delivery 3.2, 25-watt MagSafe. I just wish the actual battery tech, the physical battery itself, was new. Maybe next year. Now, it wouldn't be a new iPhone without a big focus on cameras, and I'm actually going to draw a hard line here. I'm not a professional in any capacity, so I can't properly review the pro photo and video file formats. There are way more knowledgeable creators who can speak on that stuff. For me, I'm judging this new 17 Pro on 3 specific everyday camera things: the new selfie camera, the new zoom lens, and whether or not pictures and videos look better, or at least different from previous years. The new selfie camera, frankly, is pretty great. It's not just a new 18 megapixel lens, but the square-shaped camera sensor unlocks the ability for you to basically get a super wide selfie shot without needing to rotate the phone. It's a landscape selfie while holding it upright, and if you have friends or want a big wide shot of the backdrop or whatever the situation, this is incredibly useful. I'm surprised it took this long to implement a feature like this on the iPhone, and fortunately this is on the regular iPhone 17 also, so you won't miss out if you don't get the Pro. The new zoom lens is also an interesting addition. For years and years, Samsung users have been roasting iPhone users when they show off the 100x super zoom of the Ultra, and any Chinese OEM has had super zoom on any of their sub $700 phones for years now. The 17 Pro's upgraded 48 megapixel periscope telephoto lens has 4x optical zoom and up to 40 times digital zoom, which arguably is still not as capable as some other phones. You can zoom in a lot more, but it's a useful, usable zoom that I think is still impressive. It also doesn't seem to rely on AI enhancements as much as some other super zoom smartphones, and I think zooming in beyond 40 or 50 times just isn't something you do every day. Well, you might, you creeper, but I wouldn't. The zoom lens isn't the only thing that changed though. The camera setup as a whole is sort of different. Apple is at least advertising it as such, but I don't think you're going to be wowed by drastically sharper or better looking images or videos, especially if you have one of the recent Pro iPhones already. Something I often say about smartphone cameras is that they don't really get any better, they just present you with a different look, and maybe a few additional options. Most of us edit our photos after the fact anyway, if we choose to do so at all, or maybe you utilize a photographic style for some reason, or adjust the tone. I can't imagine most people do that though, unless it's by accident when you fumble with camera control, which I have long disabled. It's literally just the worst. I think the main theme of iPhone photos right now is that they produce a realistic, true-to-life looking shot that some people might call dull. The iPhone is still the best when it comes to video, though. I think stabilization and focus tracking is the best on a mobile device. I still would never film a video on any Android smartphone, but I personally don't think there's like a best smartphone camera right now. It just feels like they each offer a few things that are different and produce a final image that's up for subjective analysis and interpretations rather than a decisive call on what's better. One other thing I should mention, unlike in previous years, where Apple picked a random thing or two to make the Pro Max better, like a slightly different camera or Pro shooting mode, there's no feature difference this year. These are the same phones, aside from the size, obviously, and the Pro Max is the biggest iPhone you can buy this year. And technically, the battery size is bigger on the Pro Max as well, so it should last the longest, even with the bigger sized screen. You can also get a 2TB Pro Max if for some reason you need that much space. The regular Pro tops out at 1TB, so I guess there are a couple of differences technically, but nothing feature-wise worth considering. Get the Pro Max if you like the big screen, but otherwise the regular Pro is the exact same phone. If someone asked me to sum up the new iPhone 17 Pro, this is what I'd say. It's a different looking iPhone that you should definitely put a case on, that has a better zoom lens, better battery life, and maybe, hopefully, will perform better and run cooler. It's the most significant, or maybe the right word is obvious or noticeable upgrade to the Pro iPhone in quite a few years. It's the most worth it upgrade in that time frame, too. And if you've waited the last couple of years for something actually new and different, well, I guess this is what you've been waiting for. But what do you guys think? Is there more to say about this new iPhone 17 Pro? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, though. Be sure to follow TechDaily on Twitter and subscribe to the TechDaily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.